Welcome back in, you guys, to One Piece, Chapter 1179's post-game show. Just in case you have no idea what the hell is going on here, we're here to read through the comment section of the last chapter's review video to see what the hell everybody's talking about. And, of course, I do think that this is simply going to be an Emu Hype Fest video. I cannot imagine a single comment out there that isn't talking about the one, the only, one of the 20 kings, king of the world, Saint Nerona Imu. So, getting right into it, we got the top comment right over here on the board. It says, going to sister's wedding, I sleep, Imu reveal, tuxedo on. Yeah, I had to do it, man. You know, if a chapter is just that damn hype, I will dress up for the occasion. It's not going to be often, right? Go back to all my previous videos. This right here, this reveal is just that special to me. I love villains, and Imu's design did not disappoint. All we need is for Oda to take the ball and run it all the way to the end zone now. He has it in his hands. All he has to do is walk it down. That's all it is. It is so simple, and I believe in Oda. I believe in Oda. This next comment says, I've lived to see the Imu reveal. It's that big, man. It is that big. We are in the end game now, boys. This says, Usopp's lies come true yet again. Imu does seem to have I can't go to this island or I'll die disease. Oh, that's a good catch. Yeah, I really enjoy this, man. The tuxedo means that Sai is finally getting serious. Yeah, I got a lot of teching comments like, oh, like Sai's become teching. The Asian teching is here. I'm not trying to step on any toes. I love teching. He's been on this channel a couple of times already. And let me tell you, man, the tuxedo only comes out, like I said, when the chapter breaks the 10 out of 10 scale, which I will admit might be next chapter if the God Knights actually get powered up, but we'll see. Imu to Usopp, Mu. Thanks you for your criticism. You're right. It's more efficient for Mu to fight all of you myself. Ask and you shall receive, brother. Here's the thing, and I think this is straight aura, but the Gorosei, they offered to go to Elbaph. Yeah, of course, Imu wants to go. He's going to turn down the offer, but he still could have brought them with him, right? He could have said, hey, Garling, you're new, why don't you come with me? Hey, Warkity, you're egging for a fight. Why not join me? You know what? Let me just take 3 God Knights and I'll call it a day. No. Imu went by himself. That is how confident he was. He did not ask for any backup. He didn't require any backup. He went solo. And I think that speaks volumes. And it makes sense, right? This is one of the final villains. When I say straight up final villain, some people are like, oh, but Sai, what about Blackbeard? And I think that's fair. You know, thinking about Imu and Blackbeard, I do think that Blackbeard will be the final Luffy fight, but Imu's gonna be like the big bad villain. The way I see it right now is kind of like Naruto. People get sick of my Naruto references, but it's right there, right? It's easy pickings. But I see Imu kind of like a Madara Kaguya type character, and then Blackbeard's kind of like a Sasuke, right? Oh yeah, big bad villain, we fight them, and then after that, we scale down a little bit, and then we take on Blackbeard. That is my opinion on that right there. This says, Toei better not make his outfit bright green, pink, and yellow. To be fair, it's not Toei's decision. It is Oda's. And I do think, this is a really good point, I saw somebody say this, but when the next volume of One Piece releases, we might actually get Imu on the cover. Think about that. That's how we got the St. Somers, Killingham, Gunko, Shamrock design colors, right? So the same is probably going to be set for Imu. And that happened for Gear 5th Luffy too. If you're like, oh, but sorry, that's going to be a big spoiler. That's like one of the main plot reveals of the series. They don't care. When Gear 5th was revealed, guess what happened? Gear 5th Luffy in the sky, Kaido beneath him. That's the thing, right? When we get that Imu volume, we will get his official colors ASAP. Hell, I bet he's going to be the trailer. I don't know if you guys actually pay attention to the One Piece manga volume trailers, but they're usually pretty fire. I'm looking forward to it because I do think it will be Imu-centric, and we could actually get the first teaser as to what his soundtrack is going to be like when we get that volume release as well. Because that is what we got in this chapter. When the trees and houses came to life, we heard the rhythmic beating. They were singing on the side. And I do wonder what's going to be behind it. Drums, a guitar, maybe a piccolo or a flute, a piano would be really badass? Or is it simply just We'll see, brother. We will see. This says, Imu stands on top of the building. Wow, where is Usopp? Funny thing is that Usopp still isn't really awake. We saw him in this chapter, and yeah, there was like a gag about turning him into a robot, and they're like, hey, where's Chopper? But he's still unconscious, man. When is he gonna wake up? And if he wakes up, will Imu actually make his way towards him? I don't think so. I feel like if there's a fight there, Usopp's gonna have to go to him again, because I do think Imu will have their hands full with Joy Boy and Loki. It would be funny though, if, you know, when this chapter released, if Usopp actually had a panel alongside everybody. Like, imagine that, dude. In a different dimension, that would have happened. Oh, here's Roger, Roxy Zebek, Whitebeard, Monkey D. Luffy, Vivi, Blackbeard, Loki, and then here's Usopp. And Imu's just thinking back to Usopp's words. That would be hilarious. But, of course, that is not the case. Sai had to put on a suit to commemorate the moment. Imu design is completely insane. Yep, and as I said, as a villain enjoyer, this is my shit. Chapter 1179, Oda cooked. Straw Hats might be cooked. Yeah, I can't imagine us winning. You know, when I think about anybody against Imu, or just everybody here in Elbaph against Imu, I don't think we're gonna stand a chance. I feel like we shouldn't stand a chance even. Like, if we lose here on this island, that would force the Straw Hats to lock in and get one final saga power-up. Maybe we do get Gear 6 or Gear Death. Loki masters his hybrid form and, you know, works out the exhaustion that he has from going big dragon mode. You know, Usopp maybe gets something. Maybe Brook gets something too. Frankie masters the Super Vega Cola. Zoro masters his advanced conquerors hockey. Sanji gets it as well, or just something on the side. I do think there is value in getting cooked in a shonen series. Go to any shonen series out there. When the main characters lose, they come back 5 times as powerful. I want that for the Straw Hats. I want that for Imu. And I really do not think Oda is going to let us down. This comment says, the government is literally working with the devil, and I love it. You know, it's a nice throwback to what Sabo said. I didn't know he would be that literal, where he was like, man, I did not expect to find hell all the way up here in the Holy Land. But lo and behold, Imu legitimately is the devil. Which is really funny too, because I've seen people saying, oh, Zoro's the king of hell. He's gonna show Imu what's up. Unironically, you know, if you're making a joke, I'm like, oh yeah, it's pretty funny. But some people actually believe that that epithet's gonna hold weight against Imu Nerona. And I'm sorry, man, maybe I'm glazing Imu too hard, but I don't think Zoro legitimately stands a chance. Could he land a really good blow? Yeah, 100%. I feel like everybody could land a good blow against Imu, but to say Zoro's the king of hell and he's gonna dethrone Imu, kind of insane, brother, kind of insane. This next comment says, now, I see why Oda kept Imu as a silhouette for 5+ years. He looks sick. It was worth the wait. Epic reveal. Yeah, and I feel like we're just gonna keep on getting more and more epic reveals as time goes on. Davy Jones and Joy Boy, like, I'm still expecting something really cool from them, but I wonder how Oda's gonna twist it up. Because right now, I feel like a lot of people just expect that Davy Jones is gonna be like Blackbeard 3.0, if Rox is 2.0. And then Joy Boy might be the same, like, oh, it's Luffy, but a little bit cooler. How is Oda gonna spice it up to where when we get these reveals, we will go through the same feelings that we did this week? I do wonder. Will it be through their powers, their utilizations? Will they actually have crazy tattoos? Maybe they look actually very different from Blackbeard and Luffy. That, we will see. I think the Void Sentry is going to be absolutely fire, though, considering how hard Oda cooked with Imu. One of the 20 kings, mind you, just one of them. We got 19 more of those bastards to go. Well, technically 18 because we already got Lily, and that's just literally VV 2.0, but it is what it is. Actually, Lily isn't even VV 2.0. It's actually just Vivi. Like, there's no difference whatsoever. No tattoos, no different build. It's legitimately the same person. I wonder if they're just going to cast the same Vivi voice actor for Lily even. I don't know, man. I don't know. Listen, I know anytime something awesome happens in the manga, we go, this is going to look sick in the anime. But Imu's arrival to Elbaph is easily going to be one of the most badass things to see animated in One Piece. Yes, I 1,000,000% agree with this. Like, dude, just imagine the hype everybody had for Gear 5th. I do think we're going to have that same level of hype for Imu. Even if you're not a villain enjoyer, just getting a villain-centric soundtrack, getting this aura, this presence, this build-up, it's going to be movie quality. You know, it really will be. Sabo saying this is hell. Seeing Imu in the Five Elders makes so much more sense. Yep. Imagine how Oda felt after drawing that Imu panel and dropping the pen. Do you think he knew that he cooked? Did he know that it hit the streets like crack in the 80s? Yeah, like Coca-Cola even, man. I do think so. Especially because leading up to this Imu reveal, at least in the last couple of screenshots of Oda's desk, we have seen, you know, pictures of Imu on the side. Oh, is that concept art for Imu? Hell, I forgot what it was. Was it Jump Festa? It was Jump Festa. Oda actually shared concept art for Imu as well. So he's been cooking up on the side, trying new ideas. And I will admit, while the concept art is a little bit off, you can kind of see that they have the exact same nose. So Oda looked at that nose type and he said, yo, he's gonna have that Anel, I don't even know what to call it, like straight slanted nose. And it's dope. It is truly, truly dope. Imu, coughing, wind descending might be a reason why celestial dragons wear those spacesuits and say they don't want to breathe the same air as the lower realm people. Perhaps. Problem with this is that we have seen celestial dragons without the bubble in the lower world, and they don't cough up blood. I feel like this is going to be an Imu-centric thing, or simply something that was real in the Void Century. Nowadays, I don't think celestial dragons are primarily affected, but maybe the original 20 Kings were like this. Like you said, I think the space bubbles and the suits will have a deeper meaning. I think everything will. I feel like when we hit the Void Century, we're going to get so many crazy revelations that we're not going to be able to keep up. Like, oh, that's why they wear the suits? That's where the hoof is from? That's why that island is like that? Oh my god, that island looked like that 900 years ago? Oh my god, is that character related to him? We're going to get so many crazy reveals. It'll literally be like an endless ejaculation. This comment says, I know this probably doesn't matter to a lot of people, but I really appreciate the thumbnail having no spoilers. I tried. I will admit, I think I could have tried harder because it's still a picture of a devil fruit and a butterfly. So, you know, if you put the pieces together and if you really think about it, it is kind of a spoiler. But, you know, I did not want to throw up the Imu face card there because that would have been a little bit too crazy. And I know a lot of people were trying to avoid the streets and avoided online circles just to not get spoiled this week. So I didn't want to be the guy to do it. I did not want to be the guy to rip off the Band-Aid. Come Sunday, which by the time this video releases, yeah, I'll have an Imu thumbnail out there, but at least for the next couple of days, no go on my end. Crazy that Imu's reveal just opens up more questions than answers. Father of the Year, Garling worrying about his troops. He's too good for this world. Yeah. Guys, we can't eat, man. Just think about the troops. Think about us, man. What are we gonna do? Going back to this one real quick. Yeah, I feel like every single aspect of Imu's design is a giant question mark. Skin color, eyes in the cloud, weapon, abilities, so many questions. Like legitimately, when it comes to next chapter, we can theorize on what's going to happen, but in reality, Oda could whip out anything out of the bag and it would make sense just because there are more questions and answers. I think the eyes in Imu's clouds represent each of his contracts that he currently has. Oh, yeah, this would be cool. Yeah, like for example, when Harold died, an eye despawned, an eye exploded. When Gonko dies, boom, an eye is going to explode. Summers dies, an eye explodes. And maybe when he has his eyes active, he cannot die. It acts as a life. Maybe it's like Basil Hawkins. You know how like Hawkins has the whole puppets in his arms, and those are additional lives, and every time he gets killed, one of those puppet dies? Maybe it's the same way. Maybe we hit Imu really hard here in Elbaph, and then killing him, for example, he gets hurt. He takes the damage instead. I feel like that's a weird nerf, though. If that's how Oda applies it, that would be a really bad nerf for Imu and the God Knights. But on the opposite end, if it simply grants him invulnerability and nobody takes damage from it, that would be fire. You know, that is an ability befitting of a ruler. Sai, finally joining Tekken with the suit. Drip, you know it, man. Loki, I'm thinking for Imu, the reason he's bound to Marie-Joie is because of some sort of ritual Joy Boy did 800 years ago. Kind of like what they did to Pennywise. Oh, Nice It reference. I think Joy Boy's final send-off and final attack or move was to limit Imu's ability to freely walk amongst the people. Yeah, that could be it. Maybe it's one of those things where Joy Boy's attack was so fatal that Imu is constantly dying even, and something about the flower room just gives him energy. A great example, I do tie this back to the Sunlight Tree Eve. We do not know where the top of the tree is. We've seen the bottom of the tree, we haven't seen the top. I think that Imu might be in the Eve tree room. I think that's actually what the flower room is all along. And Imu might need that constant regeneration, that constant sunlight to stay alive. Or maybe he just needs the butterflies. I think the butterflies are primarily there because they remind him of Lily, but we'll definitely see about that. He does feel like a heartbroken guy, though. I feel like when we get the Imu backstory, we might actually sympathize for him. You know, I do not think he's an outright evil guy from the get. I think he became evil over time, but I don't think he started that way. I don't think most villains actually start that way even. This says, I've been saying this for a while. I think, oh my God, look at this. Literally, we talk about Lily. We talk about him maybe not being evil. And here we go. I think there was some kind of love triangle between Imu, Joy Boy, and Lily. Maybe Imu loved Lily, but Lily loved Joy Boy. And Imu, out of jealousy, made a deal with the devil to get the devil fruit and killed Joy Boy, then became king of the world. And Imu wants Vivi because he could somehow get Lily in Vivi's body and finally have the love of his life. Love is a very key factor in One Piece. I agree. I do think that there might have been a love triangle. I don't know if this is exactly how it would go down, but I do agree. I do think there were some shenanigans between Lily and Imu. I don't know about Joy Boy, though. I don't know if I'd want to say that Joy Boy and Lily were a thing. Mainly because I feel like we'd have their descendant Current Day. Unless Imu killed them, right? Imagine how crazy that would be. But, yeah. I do think that Imu was definitely a lover boy. And I'm all here for it, man. I love the Heartbroken Club, brother. I do. It's one of those chapters, guys. One of those. The parallels to Skypiea and Enel are insane. All we're missing right now is a Death Pia, the giant lightning ball that Enel used to destroy the island. I hope we get a call back to that. Maybe Imu brings over the Mother Flame and the Lelousia weapon, or perhaps Nami brings out Death Pia herself, because Nami has been building up Zeus on the sidelines. Yes, that was primarily to put out the wildfires, but since Zeus is massive right now, maybe Nami can just throw in more black balls, and then boom, we have our own version of Death Pia, the giant lightning attack that Enel used as an island finisher. And instead of, destroying Elbaph, we use it to destroy Imu, to send their ass back to the Holy Land. I think that would be a big W for Nami. Will it happen? That's up in the air, but it's a fun idea, you have to admit, right? That's what we're here for. We're here for the fun ideas, brother. R.I.P. to Imu being a goth baddie. We finally get to see the main villain in One Piece making a move, yet we still have not even seen Dragon make a move yet. One day. I think we'll see this very soon, or at least I hope. As far as how to make Dragon's reveal as grand as Imu's, I think it would have to be to give him the Rain God fruit. Maybe that's too much, but, he already has been speculated to have that fruit anyways. So why not, Give it a dragon, give him a crazy Wind Logia awakening. Dragon's reveal. I don't think it has to best Imu, but it can't be too far below him, right? A lot of people have been looking forward to Dragon's reveal, Dragon on the battlefield. Whatever Oda does with Dragon, it has to be grand. And I have faith. I do have faith. I mean, we're talking about the MC's dad here. More so than not, in Shonen, the MC's dad, if they're alive, they're usually cracked out the wazoo. So, yeah, I believe in Dragon, man. I do. Bro, Imu definitely body swapped Lily, and that's the shadow body he's been hiding in and then shed off. He plans on getting Vivi to pull in Orochimaru, making her the new shadow host. I don't know. I don't mind the Imu body swapping idea. I just don't know why he'd do it with Lily right away. He has a giant poster of Lily in his room, and if he himself is in Lily's body, at that point, just get a mirror, brother. Just get a mirror. So I'm not the biggest fan of the body swapping Lily idea. I don't hate it, and I don't mind, him wanting Vivi's body for that reason, but we'll see. Yeah, I feel like the Lily one is where I get kind of lost, But Vivi, I think this makes sense. As far as the shadow body goes, though, I hope we do get a reveal for this soon. Like, I still enjoy the idea that, Luffy hits him back to his base form. We see the shadow body one more time. Luffy hits him again, and then boom, the shadow starts cracking. I do think there is a body under here. Again, I don't know if it's Lily, but I do think there is something more to that shadow host. Luffy has to get serious. Enough of this passing out every 5 minutes without food. He's got to fight a top tier now. Oh, that would suck, man. But it's One Piece, though. It is One Piece. Even during the Kaido battle, Luffy got tired mid-fight. He didn't have time to eat when he got Gear 5th. Beforehand he did eat, but when he was in Gear 5th, he simply depowered and then he repowered. I think we're going to see this. I think we might see this right here. And then maybe we get a hint from Imu on how, Joy Boy overcame that. Like maybe Luffy depowers, he turns into an old man. And then Imu is like, oh, well, Joy Boy had that exact same problem, but he bested it. He found a workaround. This might sound egregious, but I do think that there is a real chance that Luffy could overcome this soon or start working on his stamina issue. And again, Imu is the gift that could keep on giving. He's fought Joy Boy. He's fought Nidhogg in the past. He knows what the pinnacle of powers that these powers actually have with them. So yes, give us what Joy Boy did. Give us what the original Nidhogg user did. I think Imu could be that guy. Nerona Imu has descended before Dragon moves. It was nice knowing you, Usopp. Elbaph has to be the most epic arc ever, just for all the reveals alone. Just envision it. Imu has Elbaph on edge. Imu is about to end Luffy, and then a large blast of Conqueror's Haki hits Imu back. Everyone's asking who. Okay, Barbell. I thought you were going to say Usopp. Funny enough, this is going to sound absurd. I still think that Usopp is going to get what he deserves here in Elbaph. And I'm not talking about death, right? I'm not talking about death. I think that Usopp will land a good blow against Imu, and it could be a God Usopp versus Devil Imu scenario. I don't know what the hell Usopp's going to do, because everything in his arsenal and our arsenal as a whole, I do not think is enough. But maybe Usopp finds like the one weakness of Imu. Like maybe there's a eye on the back of his head that Usopp needs to hit. It's Imu's weak spot. I have no clue. Right now, though, it does feel really hopeless. I do like the barbell Colin, though. After the Imu reveal, I'm just thinking about it. And it's like, dude, what other reveals could get me hyped? Maybe Joy Boy, Void Sentry, all that stuff we talked about before. But Barbell? If Barbell shows up, or if we see him in the next island, the tuxedo is coming back on, boys. The tuxedo will come back on the barbell reveal, or when the God Knights get a power up. Those are like the two main things in my peripheral vision. Or if Garling's a werewolf. I still love that idea. Garling being a werewolf, suit's coming on too. 3 scenarios right there. Ooh, Ange is evil. Ange is evil. I know a lot of those are crackpot theories that have a very low chance of coming true, but that is what makes them a tuxedo special event. Not gonna lie, Imu seems to have the aura of the creator of all the devil fruits. Power system. Okay, I see what you mean, and I do agree. I do think that there is a chance that Imu, based on how, his special power was described here, I do think that there is a chance that he is the originator of all of them. Like maybe after Imu ate his fruit, boom, the minute you dream or will a fruit into existence, that's all thanks to him. I do think that chance is relatively high, but we'll definitely see. This may be the greatest reveal in anime manga history, absolute masterpiece. I think it's really great in One Piece. I don't know if I'd say like the greatest reveal in all of manga anime history, but in the One Piece space, it's definitely a contender for top 1, depending on personal preference. Nami was the first to notice Imu and stood up to Kaido. My goddess. I do wonder, man. I do wonder if this is a sign that Nami is, something special. Of course, Nami is the weather girl. Of course, she had like the grand shot of Elbaph. She was looking out towards the castle anyways. But maybe this is Oda hinting that Nami's going to play a pivotal role in the Imu Nerona Elbaph battle. But with that being said, though, guys, let me know your thoughts on all of this down below. Thank you so much for joining me on this little adventure. I really freaking appreciate it as per usual. I always say this, it's cheesy, but these videos would not be possible without your comments and inputs and theories. With that being said, thank you guys one last time for watching this video. And if you have an extra moment to spare, I would really appreciate it if you guys checked out my side channels over here. I got Psyduck, SYVDUCK here on YouTube. I post gameplay clips and reactions over there. And I also have Somnus Reacts, where I exclusively react to anime that catch my eye. right now I am watching through the One Piece Elbaph arc, as well as Re:Zero, one of my favorite animes of all time. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out, and stay safe, brothers.